All right, a lot has happened since we took the break. Cincinnati drafting Jamar Chase instead of Penei Sewell. They went after the weapon for Joe Burrow. Looking, tackles right now are falling in the draft. So when we left off, Kyle Pitts was a Falcon. Now Jamar Chase is a Bengal. Jalen Waddle to the Dolphins. Wow. A lot of people speculating whether the Dolphins would take Rashawn Slater here. And we are looking at Jalen Waddle being reunited with Tua. I'm happy if I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. You spent some draft capital on Jackson last year. If you're Miami, offensive line is always going to help. Always. But if you can't deny the speed of a Jalen Waddle. This is absolutely huge because who is going to cover him routinely in the AFC East? Stephon Gilmore? Maybe that's it. And the Lions have just drafted Penei Sewell, left tackle, Oregon, big, 6'6", 300, and they speculate between 350 and 360 on the offensive line. He's a people mover, excellent pass blocker, very good run blocker, better in the pass game than he is in the run game, but he does both very well. A complete left tackle. I don't care who the player is. He's going to have his strengths and things that he does better, but let me make this clear. He is good at everything he does. It's just that his pass blocking is immaculate and his run blocking is still at an NFL level. His pass blocking just makes him maybe the best left tackle prospect. That's a lot of potential in the last 10 years is what a lot of scouts are saying. But going back to Waddle being reunited with Tua, this is big. This is very big. This is unbelievably big. I think they're going to make highlight reels. Absolutely. Because what about Christian Darrisaw later on? You already got Jackson. Darrisaw, a good, solid player. Remember, the Dolphins draft again, and I'm checking, but I believe it's yes, it is. It's at 18, so I could totally see a Christian Darrisaw coming off the board, and at 18, and so you add a good offensive lineman, you get an absolute weapon with Jalen Waddle, and we mocked that Jalen Waddle would be the second receiver off the board, and we were right. And he's going to Miami to be reunited. Now, we didn't say that it was going to be to Miami, that he was going to go to Miami. I definitely thought that Patrick Surtain was going to Miami. But we'll see what happens with that number 18 pick. This could be interesting for Miami. Carolina on the board with 1:36 seconds left on the clock. All right, 4 minutes into it. Back from the break. And we are getting reloaded. Carolina, are they looking at a trade? This is interesting. They are going 1:15, 1:14, 1:13, 1:12. They are, the clock is ticking. Let's see what the Panthers do. The Panthers have acquired a new quarterback in Sam Darnold, former number 3 overall pick from the 2018 draft class, have traded Teddy Bridgewater to the Denver Broncos. This is interesting, adding to an already young and talented and explosive defense. Hassan Reddick, and the pick is in for the Panthers. They were probably taking all calls. Their player that they really wanted, I think, off the board. I think this is Rashawn Slater. I think they went out and got themselves the second best offensive lineman in this draft class. Left tackle out of Northwestern. Let's see. The pick is in. It will be interesting, though. They did not pick up Sam Darnold's fifth-year option. So they're basically saying Sammy has 1 year to prove it, which if I'm Sam Darnold, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I think Sam Darnold's going to do great with all the weapons he's got around him. He's got essentially two number one receivers. I'm not saying top end. I'm not saying either one of them are top five in the NFL yet at this point in their career. Not yet. Moore might have a chance at being a top five wide receiver at some point in his career. Robbie Anderson could totally 100% have he led the league in receiving for quite a while this year. You look at his week 8 stats. Now he couldn't keep it going all year long. There was once injuries started to accumulate, things started to happen, but hands down, nothing to take away from Robbie Anderson. Had a great season with his first year in Carolina. The pick is in. They're waiting to come to the podium. Let's see what it's going to be. Okay. Taking a little bit. I mean, they waited for the clock to tick all the way down to a minute left. And now they are actually taking a long time to come to this podium. And now it has just been announced, J.C. Horn, South Carolina corner, not quarterback, corner, 6'1", 205, excellent ball skills, great athlete, showed a lot of promise coming out of South Carolina. I am shocked that he is the number one corner off the board, though. But this is great for the Jets. The fact that Patrick Surtain is still on the board is very good for the Jets. I don't know how long he's going to be there. Denver's on the clock with 6:22. But J.C. Horn, there's nothing. I mean, he's good in run support. He can zone, man. He's really a solid man press corner with plenty of ability in zone. He can do whatever you're asking him to do on defense. Carolina adding to their defense. Good move. Nothing wrong with it. I would have went Rashawn Slater to protect, your number one playmaker on offense is coming back this year. I probably give him a little bit more of a shot to stay healthy with some some blocking up front with Slater. But J.C. Horn, he is a playmaker. I thought that Patrick Surtain II was the best corner in the nation this year. But J.C. Horn, can't take anything away from him. Good pick, good player. I just thought Surtain was a little better from Alabama. Denver on the clock with 5 11 left. They get 10 minutes per pick in the first round. Okay. Would this be Rashawn Slater? I mean, Denver, they've got Drew Lock. They've got Teddy Bridgewater. Could this be a Justin Fields? Could this be a Rashawn Slater? Or do they go in another direction? Would they go a Micah Parsons? That would be interesting to see if they load up on defense. Fields would make sense here because he wouldn't have to play right away. You've got Drew Lock. He would have, and Teddy Bridgewater sitting there. He would have the ability to compete and win his job. But I think he would have to do that in convincing fashion, which I think he could. I am shocked that the second best quarterback in this draft class is still on the board, and we're in the 9th spot. Now, Dallas is sitting at 10. They just paid Dak Prescott, so Justin Fields is not going to Dallas. I mean, that would be hard to imagine. Denver sitting here with 3 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. Okay, let's see what we got. Denver may be looking for a trade as well. Not as many trades as what everybody thought there was going to be. A lot of teams seeing what may happen as far as a trade, but I think there was just a lot of cans being kicked down the road because I'm seeing pretty much everybody staying where they're at with only a few trades. You know, the San Fran and Miami trade that took place before trading back up with the Eagles and swapping. So at number 9, now the Eagles needed some help at wide receiver. Donovan Smith is still there. I could see him going at number 12 to the Eagles. I could 100% see Smith to the Eagles. I could see wide receiver out of Alabama. I could see Patrick Surtain going to the Eagles as well, corner out of Alabama, 100%, without question. I am shocked that Justin Fields is still on the board, though. In all probability, Denver's not go. I don't think Denver's going quarterback. I really don't. I think they've dominated with, Von Miller and, if they were to draft a Micah Parsons here, they would load up on defense and have one of the best front sevens in football. Micah Parsons is a dynamic playmaker with 4.4 speed. Is just, instant plug and play, impact player. Probably going, if he plays his rookie year and he doesn't sit out due to COVID, probably defensive. He has a strong chance to be the defensive rookie of the year. Micah Parsons does. Strong chance. And in Denver, wow, could you imagine? The pick is in. They're waiting to go to the podium. All right, let's see what it's going to be. I mean, maybe they take a Rashawn Slater. I'm just looking at the board. Could they take a Vera Tucker, a guard at a USC? Maybe. I don't see him taking a defensive end with Bradley Chubb being their main pass rushing defensive end. They've got Von Miller, maybe a Caleb Farley, but I definitely see Patrick Surtain coming off the board before Caleb Farley out of Virginia Tech. And it is Patrick Surtain going to the Broncos. Patrick Surtain, cornerback, Alabama, going to the Broncos. Patrick Surtain, 6'1.5", 206 pounds. Fast, active, great ball skills. Oh, yes. I think Denver just got themselves a dynamic playmaker on defense. Probably the best corner in the draft. Even though J.C. Horn went first, and I'm not knocking their pick, but Patrick Surtain, his ball skills, I think, makes him the best corner in the nation. Now, Dallas is sitting at number 10. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm Jerry Jones, right here, I'm going Micah Parsons. I mean, you could add a Rashawn Slater, and could you imagine what that Dallas defense, that Dallas O-line and Rashawn Slater, what that would be? Okay. Because Slater could play probably, he could play, at guard. Would he be the equivalent of a Zach Martin? Could he play right tackle? They've had injuries in the past at left tackle, with Smith. If Smith is healthy, he's dynamic. But if he's not healthy, the best ability is sometimes availability. And Rashawn Slater, being that he is a versatile playmaker on the offensive line, I know you don't necessarily associate playmaking ability with the O-line, but when you're pancaking guys, man, it makes it easier. Rashawn Slater wouldn't be a bad pick. But Micah Parsons right here, this might be the spot. I would be running to the podium to hand him either Rashawn Slater or Micah Parsons. Either way they go here, I would be happy. Me personally, I would take Micah Parsons. 100% linebacker at a Penn State, unbelievable playmaker, plug and play. I mean, to get Micah Parsons with a 10th pick, if he doesn't sit out, he is probably a top 6, top 5. I mean, the linebacker spot has fell out of favor. I still think linebackers, are a much bigger part of the game plan than a lot of people associate them with. It's one of them situations where try to win without a dynamic linebacker on your team, and the other team has a dynamic running back. You're not going to do it. You need them linebackers. I mean, you need every position on the field. They talk about premium, positions, and I get it. But linebackers still have value. Micah Parsons at the 10th spot. This would, that's where I would go. You just paid Dak Prescott a lot of money, so you're not drafting Justin Fields here. This is a Rashawn Slater, a Vera Tucker, or a Micah Parsons. Dallas it's all the way down to 4 minutes and 8 seconds. I wonder if Dallas is pondering a trade. They were really high on Kyle Pitts, and I think they were a little bit. Oh, there's a trade alert. The Cowboys have traded the pick. It's just coming up now to the Eagles. The Eagles have traded up. Let's see if we can find any news about this pick to see. They have not released any details yet about the trade. We are going to try to find what they traded. What the compensation would be. As of right now, there is no news as far as compensation. Dallas has just traded down. We are looking for what the compensation will be. The Eagles have yet to send the pick to the podium. We are looking for updates. The Dallas Cowboys have traded down to the number 12 spot. The Eagles have traded up to the 10th spot. Now, do you think that they would trade up for Donovan Smith? Donovan Smith, wide receiver out of Alabama. I think that that's a stretch, but I'm still not seeing any updates. I'm just trying to see what the Eagles would have traded up to. Could this be Justin Fields? I know Jalen Hurts is in Philadelphia, but what has Jalen Hurts proven? Could this be a Justin Fields destination? I just don't know if you're going to trade back after you traded down for Donovan Smith. This is very, very interesting. 1 minute and 9 seconds looking for what the compensation was for the trade. $50 seconds, 49, and we're counting down. The Eagles are yet to make the pick. The Eagles have got us on the edge of our seats, waiting to make the pick. The Eagles have traded up with the Dallas Cowboys. 23, 22, 20, 19. We are waiting for the pick. They have 16, 15 seconds, and the pick is in. We are waiting to go to the podium for the Philadelphia Eagles. No word yet on the compensation. I am not seeing anything as far as what the compensation would be. We were just talking about trades. All right, so we have our first trade of the night, the third of this draft. The rest of the trades happened previous to the draft. Okay. Now we've got some movement. Let's see what the pick is going to be. No word yet on what the compensation. Let me see. I can go to the Eagles website here. Looks like it's just going to take a moment to see what the compensation is. But the pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. They have yet to announce the pick. We are on our way to the podium. All right. We'll see what it's going to be. I mean, they are just taking their time going to the podium today. Wow. Definitely could be a wide receiver. Definitely could be a quarterback. I'm really thinking this is Donovan Smith. I think that this is Donovan Smith, but let's see. The pick is in. The selection, they are about to announce the selection. Is it a surprise pick? Donovan Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. They traded up to get him. 6 foot, 170 pounds, elite route running, consistent playmaker. Not as explosive, not as dynamic as Waddle, but he's a close second. The third best wide receiver on the board today just came off, and he's going to play with Jalen Hurts, a former teammate of his, so they know each other. Interesting that two former Alabama quarterbacks are going to be playing with wide receivers that they've played with before. There's going to be some familiarity, and these, I think both Jalen Waddle and Donovan Smith are going to make plays at the next level in the NFL without question. The Giants were at pick number 11. The Giants have 6 minutes and 36 seconds left on the clock. Rashawn Slater is still on the board. If I'm the Giants, I am sprinting to the podium to draft Rashawn Slater. I 100% draft O-line. Their offensive line has not been good of late. They have a few good offensive linemen, but, they drafted a left tackle last year. That would be the only drawback, but Rashawn Slater can play multiple positions along that old line. Very versatile, unbelievable, prospect as far as his quickness, his upper body strength, his body control, good positional blocker, immediate impact player. He could play guard. And a lot of people are saying, would you make a guard a first round draft pick? Absolutely. Look at Zach Martin. Just hands down. Do I think Rashawn Slater could be similar to that of a Zach Martin? I do. I think similar. To say that he's going to be that player or this player, it's hard to say. But the Giants have just traded down to the Chicago Bears. We will be updating later in the show as more information becomes available. As far as compensation, the only thing we know now is that the Chicago Bears have the 11th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Chicago has just traded up. This could be Justin Fields. This could be Justin Fields' moment. And he might be going to the Windy City. This could be Justin Fields' moment. the second best quarterback in the draft class, is still on the board. And Chicago has just traded up there. Ladies and gentlemen, there is 4 minutes and 6 seconds left on the pick. We are at pick number 11. Let's see. What is Chicago doing? They going defense? The monsters of the Midway? I think we're going quarterback. I really do. They just let Trubisky go. I know they signed Andy Dalton, but I think that they were waiting for a quarterback to fall. I think that's why they signed Andy Dalton. I think they knew that one of these quarterbacks would fall, whether it be Trey Lance or Justin Fields, and they were going to do exactly what they're doing now. They were going to sit there and wait for somebody to fall, and it happened. And now they've made the trade, and they are in position. I do not know what they are waiting for to make their pick. The pick has just been announced. That the pick is coming to the podium to be announced. So the pick has been made. We're just waiting for the announcement at this moment. Is this Justin Fields' moment? This could be big. Let's see if there's any updates as far as any compensation of any trades. Let's see. I'm not seeing any updates as of yet. Wow, that 12th pick has been traded multiple times. I think Dallas is going to go Rashawn Slater. I mean, Rashawn Slater, Micah Parsons is still, that choice is still on the board. They're going to get an excellent player no matter which way they go. The Bears announcing their selection, and it's going to be, drum roll, waiting for the announcement, excuse me. Okay, we are still waiting. Everybody is in anticipation of the Bears selection. Even the announcers on TV are saying, wow. Everybody is just praying for the selection to be announced. I wonder if Dallas is on the clock through this whole time or what's going on, but they have pushed the selection. The pick is in. They're coming to the podium, ready to announce the selection, but man, they are taking their time. Justin Fields just got hit. Justin Fields is a Chicago Bear. It is Justin Fields. the second best quarterback in this draft class, has just become a Chicago Bear. The moment we have been waiting for, the man that should have been a Jet, Justin Fields, now a Chicago Bear at pick number 11. He's going to have plenty of weapons around him, out with Allen Robinson staying in Chicago. They've got some good running backs with Tyreek Cohen and that young man. Let me see. Let me go to the Bears. I can't believe I forgot his name. How did I forget his name, of all people? David Montgomery. How would I forget that? Yeah, plenty of talent around him. Marquis Goodwin. Interesting prospect. Well, not prospect. He's 30 years old. Interesting wide receiver that still has a lot of speed, world-class speed. Anthony Miller, third year out of Memphis. Allen Robinson. He's got some veterans around him. I think Anthony Miller is going to have a much, much better year this year. Jimmy Graham, surprisingly, still in, not that that's a big name anymore, but still in Chicago. Cole Kmet, rookie from last year. Okay, so they're putting together some things in Chicago. It'll be interesting. But Justin Fields, you got to be happy for him. He finally got the nod. Second best quarterback in the draft, gets drafted in the 11th spot in the 2021 NFL draft. Dallas is on the board with 3:48 left on the clock. Let's see what they do. I think it's Rashawn Slater or Micah Parsons. I'm going right back to it. I'm not seeing any compensation or what the compensation was when Dallas traded down, or the Giants for that matter. We will continue to search for what the compensation was. But for right now, the pick is in. Not yet announced. They're still bringing the pick to the podium, but the pick is official and it is in. We're just waiting to hear what it is. Let's see what we have for the Cowboys 2021 NFL pick at number 12 is in. Still waiting for the announcement. Waiting for the announcement. They are really taking their time tonight for the announcements as far as the players. From when they announced that the pick is officially in to the point where they actually tell you who got selected, man, it's taken a while. And we will be right back after this break. And I will tell you and catch you up on all the picks. I hope you're ready. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you. I'll see you in the next episode as I catch you up on all the content of the NFL 2021 draft.